All right, welcome to the Let It Fly show. I am Michael Severe, joined by Josh Jones. You know him from the Omaha Central Eagles. I was just over there picking my kid up a little while ago. I'm pretty sure that statue of you, it's still right out front.
I wish.
It's still right out front.
I wish.
And, of course, Creighton Blue Jays as well, joining us for the Let It Fly show. We got a good episode for you. Coming up a little bit later, Baylor Scheirman will join us. You know, I'm supposed to call him a guard, but in my mind, as an old dude, 6'7's guard, not a guard.
I'm about to
Swing
say,
guy, forward.
Yeah, like I said, it's something in the water. Like back 5-6 years ago, the kids were taller, bigger, stronger, faster. He's like he's a guard, man. It is what it is.
At 6'7",
he can play the four.
You know, Dr. J was 6'6.5".
Really?
And Dr. J was tall.
You know what's funny? My whole life, I never knew how tall he was.
He was 6'6.5" from the University of Massachusetts at 6'6.5".
Okay, yeah.
The Dr. Julius
This guy is
my favorite player of all time.
That's what's up.
Oh, yeah, I'm a Sixer fan. I followed him.
Sure.
Used to go to Spectrum's game.
Sure.
The guy
Phil
was the guy on the TA, and he would do that the exact same way and then when Moses came along.
Now let me ask you this:
the Savior
could and Charles Barkley keep Moses Malone name alive? You know,
he should.
He does.
Moses
that was
is
his
truly.
guy.
You ever play? You play taps?
No, I haven't.
Taps? So when you play, you play in the playground.
Yeah.
You're playing
maybe
3 or
I
4
did
guys.
Just different name.
So you got an extra point if you tapped it in the air.
Oh yeah.
So we call it taps, right?
For sure.
Moses Malone played taps on a consistent basis in the NBA.
No doubt. Yeah.
He got a rebound for every shot he shot.
Right.
He got a miss, a rebound, and a point.
We called it 21 tip out.
Tip out. There you go. Tip. You got to tip out to win it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we played it that way by ones.
Right.
But if you got a tip, you got 2.
All right, man. Yeah, that's a hood classic.
And that was, that was Moses Malone.
Yeah.
Moses Malone, one of the greatest rebound his own shot guys in the history of the league.
So even better than the round mound of rebound.
Even better than Barkley.
Okay.
Barkley would have been, I don't know if we can say the word fat anymore about people, but he would have been fatting out the league if it wouldn't have been for Moses telling him,
I know a little bit about that.
You need to straighten it out.
What I was going to ask you was, could Dr. J guard back then, could he guard the 4, 3 and the 4? Being 6'6", was he?
Yeah.
He was considered a forward.
Doc guarded Magic when they played, so Magic, not the game, obviously, when he played center in the 80s.
Finals.
Not that one, but the 2-3 times they played in the finals, he guarded Magic a lot of times.
Word.
And, Magic was taller than him.
Right.
And more physical
and that's
than him.
why now people talk about, if guys like LeBron played back then and if Jordan played today type stuff. Yeah, Baylor Scheirman's a guard, bro.
This is what I always say to people about that. If so-and-so was playing now, they'd have the same nutrition, the same weightlifting,
oh, man.
the same all that stuff, right?
Yeah, right.
So imagine Jordan, how he was already now with hyperbaric chambers and psychology and all. He would have been even better.
I know, man.
So, I mean, give me one. Send LeBron back when they were eating hot dogs and riding on coach planes and getting on trains to go places. Let's see how you handle it.
He spent $1 million on his
physicality.
Man.
Dave Ellis, the former nutritionist for Nebraska.
Yeah, right.
So he went to go visit, this is years ago, LeBron's people.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can help you guys get him in even better shape. Tell me what he eats. And they ran down what he ate.
Wow.
And it was not good.
Dang.
And so Dave said, here's my plan. And they said, never mind. 3 years later, they came back to Dave and said, hey, he's ready now.
This must have been after 2011 when he lost to the Mavs.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
After J.J. Barea.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
after
right.
J.J. Every time somebody says LeBron's better than Michael Jordan, I always go, J.J. Barea?
Right, yeah.
J.J. Barea?
Right. He's one of those guys where if he walked in a general population, I wouldn't even recognize him, bro.
No. He'd be like a superhero without his mask on. As you know, the show brought to you by, as always, Omaha Steaks. We love them. Man. They do great work.
Summertime coming.
And they'll be supplying the meat and some great food at, of course, the Let It Fly Sports Bar. Yep. Now we know June 15th is the opening day for Let It Fly Sports Bar in the Capital District. That is the day before the beginning of the 2023 College World Series. So be there at B Square.
Chef John said, what do you say about the you eat like a meat slider and take a shot or something like that?
Yeah, whiskey slider.
Whiskey slider. I couldn't think of yeah.
So coming up,
man,
so far we've had in the last month or so with Coach Osborne, which is that was a very solid podcast.
That was
if
fun.
you haven't heard that, go back to the Let It Fly show. Of course, we got the website. You can find it on Spotify, everywhere else. Go back and listen to that. That was awesome.
Yep.
We had the Doltzlers on.
That was cool, too.
Josiah and Josh. We chatted with them. That was really fun as well. Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Old memories.
Yeah.
Listen to you guys talk about high school.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Josh is very knowledgeable. He's one of those guys that looks like he either he don't even look like he YouTube. He look like he just read books.
Yeah, he does. I actually read books. He don't listen to no book on tape.
Right.
He read them.
Yeah.
So we chatted with him. And then coming up next week, so this is Baylor Scheirman podcast. Next week, we'll hear from the chef and, of course, the CEO of Let It Fly. Al Lopez will join us as well. So we'll find out more. You'll find out more about the bar and what make it special and why it's pretty awesome. But today we're going to talk, we'll talk to Baylor Scheirman, but I thought we should just take a little bit of time and kind of go over what's going on with Creighton and Nebraska.
Sure.
And I said we go to Nebraska first only because they're playing well.
I mean, they're hooping, bro.
They're in a situation now where, and I know this sounds crazy.
Yeah.
So they got 2 games left as of this taping. Play Michigan State on Tuesday. We're taping this on a Monday.
Yep.
Then they play Iowa on Sunday. They could finish the season 17-15.
It's all about getting hot at the right time, man. I know that they're 12th in the Big Ten,
but they're tied with.
But they're tied exactly, and it's one of those things where I just don't know if people in that conference tournament want to play them first round.
I don't. The way, it's funny, we don't talk a lot about defense. We rarely ever chat about defense. We talk about people's 3 points and what they're doing from the free throw line.
It's day and age, man.
Yeah, they will play you and keep the ball in the game in the 60s.
Yep.
And they'll force you to make shots down the stretch. They're going to make some little plays. Keisei's going to hit his 3 every now and then.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, late in the game, you're looking up and you're like, oh, we're down 4 to this Nebraska team.
Right.
How are we and then they end up winning the game.
Who they just play? Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Now, this is funny.
Yeah.
We go way back to our first conversations and shows. Mm-hmm. You know who was at the game? Dylan Raiola.
Oh, he was. That's
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that's right. Dylan Raiola. But his dad said, dad said, this is recently, talked to Stephen M. Sipple from On 3. He said, listen, he is still going to make his trip to Georgia.
Cool. Yeah.
He's still going to go to Nebraska. He's still going to make his trips. Yep. So there was some rumors out there that he wasn't going to be making his trip. That's not true.
I've been putting that energy out there for a long
he's
time.
He's going to go make his trips.
For sure. But no, the Huskers, man, to me, you got a guy like, you think LeBron James is father time. Derek Walker been there since 2019.
He's been there for a long time.
He's like the last of that dying breed group, man.
He transferred in.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, sometimes it's hard to get motivated. Yeah. Playing in college. I read an article just kind of about him just being in a slump, just mentally, just thinking about the COVID year and talking about purpose and thinking about after college and things like that.
Yeah.
I think now he snapped out of it. He's going to play balls to the wall. And do whatever he got to do to try to get a win. So, Nebraska's scary. They've been hooping. They on that winning streak. They got Michigan State.
Michigan State's going to be on Tuesday. This will probably drop on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It'll be home game. It's senior day,
I know how that is.
The emotions of senior day and having a chance to be able to do something you haven't done in a long time.
Right.
It's going to be emotional in that building. And the building's always loud.
For sure.
It's going to be really loud.
Oh, man, it's going to be a good one.
So 4 in a row they won. Yep. Wisconsin, Rutgers, Maryland, and Minnesota. 11-3 at home.
Yep.
So you feel pretty good about the game on Tuesday. Here's where they've turned things around. So effective field goal percentage. Okay. Yeah. Effective field goal percentage. That's taken out a lot of the issues you have with turnovers and some other things.
Right.
They are 55% right now from the floor.
Man, yeah.
They were 51 just 2 weeks ago.
Man.
Tominaga was averaging 12.5 points a game.
Yeah.
Right? In February, 21.6.
Yeah, man. I think that 30-point game kind of like
got him going.
Yeah, that basket's like a hula hoop now for him. It was kind of cool too. I've also seen that his family traveled 6,000 miles to come watch him.
Yep.
I feel like he's always. I don't even think he's had an underdog mentality. I think if you actually look into his life, he was like destined to play basketball.
Oh yeah.
His dad being a footer. Playing professional basketball himself. It's just it's odd when you're minority is not even the right word talking about this, but like it's not that many Japanese basketball players dominating like that at all
not
that I can think of. Not in this country.
Yeah.
Not in this country. For him to do what he was doing, initially, I bet when everybody watched him, even myself, I knew he can shoot, but just wanted to see you know, what he can do. I thought he'd play a role, but now he's one of the leaders on the team.
I thought he was honestly overhyped.
Man.
That happens a lot of times when you come from overseas and they're like, well, he's the Japanese Steph Curry or whatever. And you're like, whatever.
No,
and he struggled so much. And he really, and now the back cuts to the basket. He's playing a little better defense.
Yeah, he's kind of like, it's like he's got a rhythm in that offense.
Yeah. And it's confidence, you know.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
So he is going to walk. He's only a junior, but he's been in school long enough to graduate.
Right.
So he's going to walk.
Right.
In the home game against Michigan State, because his parents are in town. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's gone.
Right.
He could stay.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
You know, it'd be funny. What if he transferred like everybody else in the portal?
Well, see, here's the problem with him is that he can't get NIL right now because it's set up to where the foreign players can't get NIL. So his best bet would go play pro basketball in Japan and make millions of dollars.
That is true.
Now, he may love it here and is having a good time.
Right.
And maybe he stays because of that, but he's going to walk on senior day, and so that's going to be huge for him. Here's the thing. I'm going to ask you this.
Yep.
All right, so they have not made the NIT or postseason, of course, since 18-19. Since 2018, 2019, they've not made it.
The NIT.
The NIT. Any postseason they haven't played, the NIT was the last time they were in postseason.
Right.
Last time they made the NCAAs was 2013, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Best guess for you. They're 15-14 right now. You know who they play. They play Michigan State at home. Yep. And then they go and play Iowa. Let me give you this about Iowa.
Okay.
Iowa's 14-2 at home.
Dang.
They're really good at home. Do they lose both in 15 and 16? Do they win both, finish 17-14? Or do they split and win 16? They go 16 and 15.
Good question. I think they split and they do the impossible and beat Iowa.
Oh, so you think they lose to Michigan State?
Yeah.
Go to Iowa, beat Iowa.
Yes.
16 and 15.
The reason why I think that is because, for me, I think from what Michigan State just went through recently, you know, it's kind of like a extra sense of motivation to play for.
Sure. And then the Iowa game they were in.
Yeah.
In the Iowa game, they got the huge lead.
Yeah.
They blow the lead.
Yeah.
Down the stretch, you know, man, you up 3.
Right.
Less than 5 seconds. You got to foul that dude.
Right.
Make him go to the free throw line, make one miss, whatever. And they didn't. Iowa ran a great play. Then you go to overtime, you get blown out in overtime.
Yeah.
So Michigan State's coming in with a chip on their shoulder. So
that's what I'm trying to say. That's the only reason why. Other than that, I think they I just kind of feel like it can go 0-2. Because sometimes if you lose that first one, it's hard to build that momentum on the second one where you assume to lose anyway.
They have a chance. Now they're gonna if they finish and play again on Wednesday, which they've done a lot. The last time they didn't play on Wednesday was that 18-19 year.
Yep.
So they've played every year since then. Obviously, you know
they've had good players that whole time though. Like you had Isaiah Roby, you had guys
who were playing in the league.
Yeah, right, but as a team, nah, man.
They'll probably play. No matter what happens, they'll probably be stuck in that bottom 4. So they'll probably play Ohio State or Minnesota.
Yeah,
teams they could beat.
Yeah.
So if they do split, go 17 and 15 in the regular, 16 and 15 in the regular season.
Yeah.
Get the 1 win and the 1 loss. That would mean 17 and 16.
Yep.
That's probably an NIT berth.
I know, bro.
Right?
Let me ask you this also as we're talking about NIT berth.
Yeah.
Nebraska has not even considered being a sister school to Creighton when it comes to local, you know.
Like a little brother, you're saying?
Yeah, little brother.
Yeah,
sorry.
Little brother. Yeah, like a little brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, is Coach Hoiberg finally turning it around? Where do they go from here? Despite of how this season goes,
I think
it's been pretty interesting.
I think he comes back for sure.
Yeah,
because of what happened in the second half. But this is a team that at one point lost like 35% of their starters with injuries.
Yeah.
He's playing his son, who's a walk-on, Sam Hoiberg. He's playing a true freshman in Lawrence, who he didn't expect to play at all.
Right.
You got guys playing all kind of crazy minutes.
Right.
So what he's done is pretty amazing. But at the same time, I think I saw this Lee Barfnack, former Omaha World Herald guy who covered Huskers forever.
Okay.
I think he said they've lost 11 or 12 games by double figures this season.
So
some of them by like more than 20.
So we're really doing moral victories with the top performers and things like that.
Yeah.
Versus seeing objectivity.
Still finishing 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
Finishing 11 or 12, still not great.
Yeah.
But it is the Big Ten. I mean, honestly, we've always talked about this. People that talk about the Big Ten. If you can finish in the top 8, you're doing incredibly.
No, for sure. Big Ten is tough.
Yeah. Now, he has a chance. If they win both these games, I know it's probably not going to happen. They win both the games. They get 1 win in the tournament, in the Big Ten tournament. That's 20 wins.
That's big time.
That's crazy to think about.
I know, if you think about it.
Based off of what this team was.
I know,
So if that happens, I think he's back anyway.
Yeah.
But if they could get some out of 20 wins, that'd be nice, man.
Right.
On the other hand, of course, obviously, there's Creighton, and we'll talk to Baylor Scheirman coming up. But they're in a situation now where they got, the game against Georgetown come up, then they got the game against DePaul. They've dropped 2 in a row. Villanova shot 40% from 3, 50 from the floor, and 80% from free throws, 16 to 20.
Yeah.
That's perfect basketball. If you're 40, 50, and 80, that's really good.
100%. I think also that is kind of credited to Dixon smelling blood. I feel like everybody who play against Kalkbrenner try to give him their best.
Well, yeah, because people talked about him as the preseason player of the year,
sure.
and you see that. You're like, well, I'm better than him.
Yeah. For sure. And so for me, I think even outside of a perfect shooting night, some of the notes I put here.
Yeah.
You had Eric Dixon with that 31-6 threes. Obviously, I just talked about that.
Yep.
But with Justin Moore coming back, I think this is their time to make a run. I feel like they got to get to the title game if they want to get a NCAA tournament.
They have to win it.
They got to,
they got to win it.
They got to do something like that.
They got to do like Georgetown did a couple years ago.
Exactly. Other than that, man, I think it is good. It shows that there's a toss-up of anybody could win the Big East tournament. But I still think UConn got the highest ceiling.
Oh, I agree with you.
I think so.
Yeah. With Villanova fully healthy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look how good Marquette looked.
I know.
That game, by the way, and I know it came down to some questionable calls by the referee. Right. But that game was one that was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Because it was well played. It wasn't bogged down with foul calls.
It was.
It was fun to watch. Obviously, Creighton could have won the game.
Yep.
They got the play on the outbound play where it's grabbed before the ball's thrown in, but not after. He called the grab of the arm, which didn't happen.
Man.
So people were upset about that. And then, so that's a chance of Creighton having the ball and a chance to win opposed to Marquette going on to shoot free throws.
Yeah.
So I look at them. You beat Georgetown, you beat DePaul.
Yep.
It looks like you're probably going to play UConn. Here's the crazy thing. So the last 2 years, Creighton's lost in the finals. Year before that, there was none because of 2020.
Right.
2 years before that, both those 2 years,
Providence.
They lost in the quarters. Both those years of 4-5 games.
Oh, wow.
Lost to Providence and Xavier.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the year before that, played in the finals. So they've either gone to the finals or got knocked out in their first game.
Yeah.
It's going back to 2016.
I just think that like the top teams are starting to get hot when it's supposed to be hot too.
Sure.
For the tournament time. Like, I mean, not even thinking forward towards the actual NCAA tournament. Like I said, Justin Moore coming back for Villanova. They're playing well now. It's a big win for them. Creighton is really good despite of the roller coaster that they've been on.
We know.
But like, and they'll probably get the at-large bid at the tournament if they.
They're a 5 or 6 seed.
Exactly.
They're a 5 seed right now.
Yeah, everybody else is trying to put themselves in the position to get there too, regardless. I think maybe obviously Marquette and I want to say, what is it? Providence or Xavier. Xavier are thinking towards winning it all, but everybody else is trying to just play their best basketball to get a bid.
Remember Vegas? We talked about a lot. Only 5 points from the bench in that Villanova game.
Yeah.
And Baylor, who we'll talk to in a little while, Nimhart and Trey, 7 of 24 from the field.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you're not going to expect all 3 of those guys to struggle.
Exactly.
That doesn't happen. So, if you have Kalk playing well and you have Kaluma playing well, one of those other 3 you're only going to play well.
Yep.
They struggle a little bit together, so that's not how it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming up on the show, we will talk to guard. 6'7" guard. I'm telling you, I'm an old man nowadays. It's too tall for guard. We'll talk to Baylor Scheirman when we come back here on the Let It Fly show. All right, we're joined by Creighton guard Baylor Scheirman. I still have problems saying guard because you're too tall to be a guard from when I was growing up.
We had this whole conversation about like is 6'6" and above. Can you consider yourself a guard? I'm like, yeah, it's 2023.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
majority of the guards now are 6.
Exactly.
I told him Dr. J is 6'6" and a half, and he was playing small forward.
A while ago.
That was a while ago.
Right.
That's when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Of course, South Dakota State transfer Aurora grad, a guy who I had many arguments with Mike Sauter over whether or not he should play football or basketball. Yeah. Was it a decision? I mean, you almost threw for 4,000 yards, man.
No, not really. I mean, it was already like later on, and I already committed for basketball, so like it was never really in the back of my mind that I was ever gonna, play football. But I definitely loved it and miss it. But it was always basketball for me.
If they had offered you a scholarship, if Nebraska would have offered you a scholarship to play football at Nebraska,
that's a big if.
I know it's an ifs and buts and candy and nuts.
They're not offering nobody.
If they would have, would it have been a decision?
I probably would have thought about it.
Yeah, for
a
sure.
little bit more.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you growing up? I mean, to know that you played football and also hoop too.
You played everything.
Yeah, like how'd how'd you decide, like, you know what, I want to do my thing in basketball?
Yeah. Well, basketball was kind of like always my first love. You know, growing up, like that's the first thing that I always did. And I didn't really play organized football until middle school, so I didn't really pick that up till later.
Yeah.
I just always played like at recess, but nothing really serious. And basketball, I started playing travel when I was like 4. So it's kind of always been my first love. So it's always been like the decision for me.
Yeah. What was it like for your parents getting you around growing up? You played everything. Yeah. What was that like? Were you guys ever sitting at home on a weekend?
No. I mean, like you said, I mean, the fall was probably the least amount of busy just because, you know, I didn't play football or anything. Mm-hmm. But, you know, summer or winter basketball, you know, when your little travel basketball started in November and went all the way till March. And then right when that was done, I played travel baseball, and that started March and went all the way till July. So, there was not a lot of times, you know, I spent at home on the weekends for sure.
Yeah, what about, like, so you get to high school, obviously you're doing 2 sports, you know. Mm-hmm. When did you, like, what was recruiting like for you? I mean, we haven't even dived in and talked about South Dakota State. Yeah. You know, like, what was that process like? Like, kind of talk about your freshman year all the way up to just the 4 years of high school in the summer to understand, like, how'd you end up going to South Dakota State?
Yeah, so, I mean, I dropped baseball. Obviously, in high school, we didn't have a baseball team, so I couldn't play it in the summer because I played, you know, travel basketball.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, like, my first 2 years of, like, travel basketball in the summer, like, I mean, I was traveling and stuff, but, like, there wasn't, like, a lot of recruitment. My freshman year, I was only, like, 5'9", 120 pounds.
Word.
So, like, I was a small guy just running around shooting deep threes. And then sophomore year, I grew a little bit more, and it was a little better, but I think my recruitment kind of took off the summer going into my junior year. You know, I got asked to play for OSA.
Yeah, Crusaders.
Yeah, Crusaders.
I played.
Yeah, and that was their first year in the Adidas Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And so, obviously playing in that, you know, gained a lot of exposure. Yeah. And, you know, after that summer, that's when, you know, South Dakota State, you know, came around, and a lot of the summer league schools were coming around, you know, recruiting me. And I ended up committing, you know, the fall of my junior year to South Dakota State. And so then, like, the next year I played AAU again, but it was kind of just carefree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just hooping.
I already knew where I was going. So that was kind of how it was throughout high school.
Was there late interest from Nebraska or Creighton?
No.
Omaha?
No. Omaha, you know, they were heavy on me, you know, before I committed. But once I committed, you know, all the summer league schools kind of fell off. But there was never really any interest from Nebraska or Creighton, you know, coming out of high school.
Was there a chip because of that for you?
I would say
gotta be, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
gotta be.
Being from Nebraska, you know, you either want to play at one of the 2 schools, and obviously they didn't think I was good enough then, and then. So it's humbling to be able to come back now and obviously play for him and, you know, kind of proved him wrong in a sense. So, but there was definitely a chip.
That's big time. So I had to take notes on these. So Arkansas, Clemson, Creighton, Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Nebraska, Texas, Wake Forest.
Or the NBA draft.
Why Creighton?
Well, just the culture they have was very similar to, you know, where I came from, South Dakota State, and obviously, you know, the style of play I thought really fit, you know, how I played, and thought I could really excel here, and ultimately, you know, I wanted to play on a bigger stage, try to, you know, showcase my abilities, and ultimately just help Creighton win, and
for sure.
And if I could help them win, I felt like it would benefit me as well, and then also, you know, being from Nebraska was a big deal too. Being able to come home, you know, the family, friends get to watch you play. I got a younger brother. I get to go, you know, watch him do a lot of his things this year. So all those played a factor in choosing Creighton.
Did you do any like visits to any of those schools I named?
No, I wasn't able to do any visits because I was, you know, training for the NBA draft. So a lot of it, they came and saw me where I was training, which I was in Atlanta training. So a lot of the schools came and visited me.
He's trying to get up out of there. Respect, bro. I feel you.
Yeah. So a lot of schools came and visited me where I was training at.
That's good.
Yeah.
What did they tell you from the NBA? What did they say? Things that part of your game they wanted you to work on?
Well, I mean, a lot of it was just they wanted to just see me play against better competition.
Yeah,
was really just the biggest thing. Obviously, you know, no knock on the Summit League, but you know, you're not playing against the best athletes or guys.
You end up like Mike Dom.
Yeah, 100%.
He was dominating.
No, he was dominating. Yeah, exactly. But they want to see me play against, you know, higher level competition and see if my game would translate. So yeah, that was the biggest thing.
So. Yeah, so you end up coming to Creighton. what is it like? What's some of your favorite things? You know, and it's us. You know what I'm saying? So like it's real loose. You know what I'm saying? Like, just what are some of your favorite things just about playing for Creighton? Like, I mean, obviously the crowd is one, but like what you love? What do you love about playing?
I just love playing in general, you know, basketball wise, you know, it doesn't really matter, but specifically for Creighton, I mean, like, I just love playing for Coach Mack, you know, to be honest. Like, he's like one of the best coaches I've ever, you know, played for.
Man,
you know, his coaching strategy and just the way he coaches, you know, he's always calm, and you know, he never really loses his cool. And for me, just for a player in general, seeing that out of your head coach, you know, it trickles down to you. You know, when things are not going well or things are going well, you know, you still have to stay, you know, even keeled. And so I think that's one of the biggest things, you know, that I enjoy the most is just playing for Coach Mack.
Yeah, I want to go back to South Dakota State. Was there a moment that you remember or a game or practice where you said to yourself, okay, I can do this. I can do this at a high level. I can be one of the best players in the Summit League.
Yeah, because you're coming from South Dakota State. Yeah. So people looking like,
No, I mean, your freshman year, I know you weren't.
You know?
No, 100%. And that's my freshman year I struggled. You know, I mean, I was able to play, you know, a good amount with 6 man, played 20 minutes, but I really struggled mentally, you know, that year. And I think it was my sophomore year. I want to say, like, just like the first, like, obviously it was the COVID year, but like the first stretch of games, for me, like the first 5 games, I think the sophomore year, that's when I was really like I could really do this, because I started off really hot. You know, we played West Virginia first game, and I had a great game. We ended up losing, but then the next game I had a career high, and it kind of just continued to snowball, and my confidence grew, and I was just like, I could really do this, and yeah, now I'm here.
Now this is I'm a swag and a chip guy. Yeah. You know, I feel like Deion say, if you look good,
oh yeah, you play good,
you play good, you know, all that type of stuff,
and then you get paid.
How you end up with 55, bro? Like, I mean, you making the number, like it's you, but how? You was 3 at South Dakota
I was 3,
State.
and obviously can't be 3 here with
who? What, Doug?
With Doug McBucket.
Doug. Oh yeah.
So they wouldn't let me be 3, obviously.
Yeah,
so
or else you would have took that.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
But I liked white chocolate, you know, Jason Williams.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got it. You got the swag. Yeah.
He was like, and then my dad also wore 55 as well
sure.
when he played in college. So
all right, where your dad go to school?
He played at Hastings College.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's how I got 55.
You know, Tom Osborne played. Yeah. He was good.
Yeah.
I looked at his stats. He had like 20 a game.
Yeah.
And football, basketball, and baseball. He played three-sport guy. Yeah, he was a heck of an athlete.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what's up.
Was there a big was there something when you got to Creighton that you had to like get over? Because it's new coach, new players, new teammates, new scheme. Was there something you had to get over before you felt comfortable?
Not really. I mean, I just think like the biggest adjustment was just like playing with high-level players, obviously, you know, a lot of high-level guys, NBA caliber type guys. And so just playing with them, you know, just the chemistry, you know, which took some time to grow, but I think that was probably just the biggest thing.
Really. So easy transition.
Yeah, I thought it was fairly easy to be completely honest.
I think that's why
being
portal
6'6",
6'7", yeah,
6'7".
See, that's the portal thing, right?
Yeah,
you understand why people are going to invest. They know you've already cut your teeth.
Yeah.
You've already learned what you need to do. You come here and it's easy for you.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, it's like a lot of people enter the transfer portal for different reasons. And, you know, I didn't leave South Dakota State because I hated it or I wasn't playing or whatnot.
No, you're just trying to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. And do you still keep contact with your old coaches, players, and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. The players more than the coaches, obviously.
Sure.
But still check in every once in a while. But I'm definitely still in contact with my guys there.
What about? Oh, sorry.
No, you got it. I'll say it's not your shot because I've seen your shot. I know how good it is.
Yeah.
But 8 of 35, those last 4 games. Are you seeing something on tape? Are you rushing it? What's the deal?
No, it's just not going in, man.
It's simple.
It's simple. Like, I don't think about it that much, to be completely honest with you. You know, I say it all the time. You know, Steph Curry has slumps where he, you know, doesn't shoot great. Klay Thompson, and they're the greatest shooters ever. So, obviously, it hasn't been going in the last 3-4 games, but you know, the coaches have confidence in me. You know, I have confidence in my preparation that I put in before the games. So, I'm not really thinking about it.
Yeah, you know what's crazy for me? Like when I used to play, like if I can go back now, I will watch all the film with Coach Mack when I played. Because what y'all do now was me.
Yeah.
I was the only one on the team shooting them unconscious shots, and he used to give me them looks like, I don't shoot that. But we have evolved so much, man. I'm just happy to see the game move forward, you know. And just speaking about the game, all the college basketball that you play. Let's go back to high school first and then talk about college. Who's the toughest person you ever played against? Who was your
high school?
High school first. Fierce competitor.
Oh, in AAU, I mean, we played against some high-level guys. I mean, played against Jalen Green.
Yep.
And then we played against the Mobley brothers, played against Evan Mobley. He was good.
So long.
Yeah. So those probably two best guys.
Now, what about in college? Like, since you're now at Creighton or whatever, in the Big East Conference, night in, night out, who you give flowers to from another team that just bring it every time you've played against them?
Probably Devin Carter from Providence.
Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, he's tough. Brings it. He's tough. He plays tough. You know, he's a tough matchup. Plays the game the right way.
Yeah.
And so I'd say him. Probably.
Yeah, sometimes for me it's good to ask those type of questions because, you know, you as a fan or a spectator, you kind of see other players, you know, doing things, but you want to hear from the players how they actually feel about. Do they see or think what we think too? You know, so it's good to give respect.
Give respect to. How do you decide? Color of or headband or no headband? How do you make
it's like
that
a little
decision?
phenomenon, bro.
I used to wear like whatever jersey color we were wearing. I wore that headband, but here they just give me the blue one every time, so I just wore the blue one every time.
Okay.
In the last couple of games, I hadn't worn it because I got a haircut, so I had to show off the fade.
Yeah, you know what's weird? People were like, that was like a thing. It's like Baylor Scheirman got a haircut.
Yeah,
like you got a fan club.
Well, if you're in a little bit of a slump,
I know, trust
and
me.
you don't wear the
I'm in a slump, and I'm not wearing the headband. Trust me, my DMs are going crazy.
Yeah, like bro, wear the headband, grow it out.
How did it start? How did the headband start?
So we were in quarantine over the COVID break, and I was working out, and my hair I just grew out my hair, and it got long enough where it was like in my face when I was working out. So I went to my little sister Mesa and asked if she had a headband, and she gave me a headband, and I kind of just rocked it, and I kind of liked it. And
nice.
That's really how it started.
For
it's
sure.
that simple.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you got to trademark. It's NIL days, bro. So I'm gonna just tell you, bro. If you can do anything to get an advantage to make you stand different, do that. Rock that headband. You feel me?
Just a white guy wearing a headband.
Yeah, right.
Well, speaking of that, you're a Pistol Pete guy.
Yeah.
How are you a Pistol Pete guy? I'm a Louisiana native.
Okay.
I met his dad, Press.
Oh, yeah.
Went
That's
to camp.
That's awesome.
Met Pistol Pete before he passed.
Yeah.
How are you a Pistol Pete guy?
So like when I was like 3, we got like this VHS tape of the movie The Pistol Birth of a Legend.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That was my favorite. Like I watched it. I watched it every day. Came home from school, watched it, went out. Like that's how it started. And that's my guy.
Like every day.
I love him. Yeah.
Did you dribble out the window in the car?
The car. I tried to do that.
Yeah.
And the bike when he's dribbling out.
I did that.
I even did that. Yeah, I still
Yeah.
did that. Like coming back from quarantine, I'd bike to like a park and shoot, and I'd be doing it.
Man.
So, yeah,
He was when he tore his knee up. Okay, the first time.
Yeah.
He tore his knee up
That's
on
funny.
a half court between his leg bounce pass that resulted in a dunk.
Yeah.
But he tore his knee up.
I know.
And he's laying there, and people are going nuts.
Yeah,
He's
man.
got the knee
I
injury.
tried to tell my little brother, like,
dude was bad. Man.
when I was coming up high school and college, I watch on VHS Michael Jordan Come Fly With Me.
Okay.
So
I know that. I know that
so
one too.
I know what you mean, bro. Like you studied, I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. A question that I got for you. We didn't. You're one of the few of one of the leaders of the team we didn't get to talk to when you guys were going through that slump. When y'all lost 6 in a row. What was it like from your perspective? Like, I know accountability was there for yourself, but what was that time like for you? And how did you correlate that with conversation with your teammates and stuff?
Yeah, well, I was trying to stay positive with everybody.
Yeah.
And, it's a long season, obviously. And not having Kalkbrenner definitely hurt, during that stretch of time. But like I said, just trying to stay positive with the guys and just trying to improve every day and try to just take a step because, it's a long season. Obviously, we were able to turn it around and go on a win streak there, which really helped us out. But like I said, it was just a long season. And, I've been through a lot, college basketball, played a lot of college basketball in that day. So I know how the season gets and whatnot. So I was just trying to stay positive.
Did you have to have times where you had to like pick up some of the guys who, like some of the younger guys, the guys never went through that or whatever?
Yeah, a little bit. And, Fred King was playing a lot of minutes where he was kind of put into, a rush hour, you might say, and wasn't necessarily ready for it.
Yeah.
But, he made great strides along the way, and I'm really proud of how he handled that situation. So,
Yeah,
for
sure.
2 games left, obviously, before you go. But
Yes, sir.
Madison Square Garden, most famous arena in the world. The thoughts about having the opportunity to play there?
It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm a big history guy and whatnot, so I know the history behind it and whatnot. And growing up in Aurora, Nebraska, didn't necessarily ever think that, I'd be able to, play in Madison Square Garden. So
that's crazy.
I'm very excited.
I was one game away. We lost to Kentucky at the time it was a CenturyLink, but we would have played.
Oh, the NIT game.
We would have played in
Notre
Dame.
We
would have played Luke Herring.
That was a good game.
Oh, it was tight,
that Kentucky game was a good game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
What about another question that I got on here is out of all the college basketball games that you've played, what's your most memorable game of all time? Or a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, one of them's got to be winning the Summer League championship.
Yeah, for sure.
Last year with my guys, I mean, and making the NCAA tournament. Like, for mid-major schools, winning your conference championship is like winning the national championship to an extent. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
So, and everything else after that's kind of a blessing. So I'd say that one. And then, this year I think, Maui was a lot of fun. That Arkansas game.
Oh, man, y'all was balling.
Yeah.
That was fun to watch.
That was a lot of fun, and, like, the atmosphere was crazy. The gym was so small. Everyone was, like, on top of you. So that one was a lot of fun as well.
Do you think at all, and I know normally it's not something that would happen to you guys because you guys have been playing for a long time, but you lose that game to Marquette, the way you lost it, the way it ended with the officials, did it affect the Villanova game at all? You think?
I mean,
mentally?
I'm not really one to, make excuses about it. We got beat, but obviously, the way we lost, it was tough, and, every game's a battle, obviously, but, back-to-back games, or not necessarily back-to-back. We lose at Providence the week before in double overtime. That was gut-wrenching, and then losing to Marquette as well. Definitely, I don't want to say made an impact, but, it's definitely in the back of our minds for sure.
Was it hard for you? Obviously, your coach, it's his job to take over with the referees when it's a bad call like that, but how did you guys kind of regroup after the inbound foul call?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of time left after it happened. Officials are going to make the calls. You can't really, do anything about it regardless. I was trying to figure out, what the next move is once they called the foul. And, we didn't have any timeouts left. And so trying to figure out if he makes two and misses one, whatever the case may be. But that's kind of where my mind went.
That shot that went off at the end, was there contact?
I mean, he ran up on me and bumped me, but I figured they weren't going to call it. So
if you weren't, would you keep it real if it wasn't like –
if it wasn't a foul? Yeah.
Oh,
I'd keep it real for sure.
Yeah. But he made contact with you. Obviously, you couldn't get the shot off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that's most important to me, and I've actually researched this just by because I'm a guy of character. You know, I'm always trying to get better as a person and all that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Your faith, man.
Yeah.
I'm super impressed by that.
I appreciate
that. I think that's the thing that made me outside of basketball gravitate towards you just as a young man and all. I mean, for me, I'm not sure if you know my story. It was cut short due to health issues playing against Nebraska, but it's my faith in general. It's not necessarily about what has kept me going forth, but just in general, that just kept me solid as a young man.
Yes, sir.
Kind of talk about your faith and, like, what does that mean towards you in general at the point you are in your career, you're a senior, just everything that has happened for you thus far.
Yeah, well, obviously, like you said, it's a big part of who I am just growing up. My parents kind of instilled that into me, and then I kind of took that over myself, going into high school. But, just the point I'm at right now, I just think that, like, it's it takes a lot of pressure off me, just performance-based, people talk about it about it a lot, but I'm just, like, playing for an audience of one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, regardless if I'm shooting bad or if I'm not shooting bad,
right.
At the end of the day, I'm getting to play the game I love at a high level, and if I can impact people in a positive light, that's really all that matters. And like you said, just very thankful for my upbringing, and faith had a huge part of that, and it's continued to have a huge part in my journey for sure.
Do you feel like you need to testify? I mean, there's times where you're obviously going to be around guys who are struggling, and this nowadays – everybody's struggling mentally coming off of COVID and all that stuff. But do you feel sometimes that is something you should talk to your teammates about or classmate about?
Just like faith?
Yeah.
I definitely, we'll see if, if they're okay and whatnot. I don't like to, push it on anybody and whatnot. So, but, I'll definitely mention it. I'm talking to Fran all the time about it, my roommate. Ask if he wants to come to church. Just little things like that to check in. But I never like forcing on anybody.
For sure. One of the greatest things that I can tell you is if you just continue to just do what you do and be who you are, the aura aura of who you are, bro.
Yeah.
People gonna be like, man, why you happy all the time?
Exactly.
And then it's like, hey, man,
the actions.
Yeah.
People see how you carry yourself and how you act all the time.
You're one of the, I'm not going to say the few, but how you've handled everything since we've been kind of covering you guys. You've been the same every game.
Yes, sir.
You don't know, we don't know if you like down in the dumps or happy. You just
yes, sir.
even kill, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the leadership for
Yes,
sure,
yes,
man.
Sir.
So your roommate's Farabella?
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody more confident than that cat. He just, when he plays, you can just see.
Me. He wearing my number.
Yeah. He just looks, every time he shoots, it looks like it's going to go in.
Yes, sir.
When he gets the ball, as soon as he comes in the game, he's ready to shoot. He's just incredibly confident.
Yeah, he's very confident in his abilities. And obviously, he's been struggling shooting the ball this year as well. But,
doesn't stop him from shooting, though.
No, absolutely. No, and it shouldn't. We have confidence in him. We know what kind of shooter he is and whatnot. But like you said, he's a very confident guy and knows what he brings on the basketball court for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a senior, I know you try not to think about when it's all over or whatever. Do you think that you put yourself in a position to get closer to your goals for the next level as you did this journey now at your years at Creighton? Do you think you're back in a repositioned spot where do you feel like the first time you tried the draft versus entering it now? Mm-hmm. Like, where do you think you're at now?
I definitely think I've improved my stock for sure. Obviously my numbers haven't been as good as they were last year, but obviously I'm doing things different this year.
For sure.
Not in the
Rebound,
same, not in the same role and things like that nature. And a big thing, they talked about seeing the game translate, but a majority of that was just defensive wise. They wanted to see if I could defend,
for sure.
At this level, and for the most part, I think I've done a good job with that. And then also, shooting wise, I'm not shooting horrible from three, and a lot of people don't know the majority of my threes are from 40 feet. So
I know
it's not like I'm shooting right on the line. So,
exactly.
I'm happy with how the season's gone. And obviously there's been ups and downs, and but I'm excited for this last stretch we have as a team. I'm really excited to hopefully do something and put Creighton on the map.
For sure. Last two things from me. How good of a golfer are you?
I'm solid. I'm
you the best on the team?
I'm not. I'm trying to think who's on the team.
That means golfs. You're the best, bro. It's all good.
Yeah, what I'm saying. I'm pretty confident.
That take it serious.
Yeah. I golfed in high school, so technically I played 3 sports, but I wasn't. Yeah, I was like a high 80s, low 90s guy.
Okay.
So that's really it.
And then the last thing, that bling you got going on. I see the bling. What you got going on there?
So, little tennis.
Look, keep doing you, bro.
It's shiny.
I got one more question for you. Who do you model your game after that's on the highest level right now? Like, who would you say you kind of play like or inspired by as professional basketball players?
So I'd say 2. I'd say Joe Ingles being one. Mm-hmm. Obviously lefty, taller guard, not like super athletic, but just knows how to play.
For sure.
And then probably like Luka as well, just the same way. Just not necessarily going to wow you with athleticism, but just understands how to use his body and pace to play.
Luka magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
It's a confident guy here, bro.
Well, he just named one of the top 3 players in the basketball. That's all. He went Joe Ingles and then Luka. That's a little bit different.
Yeah. Well, man, good luck.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you coming on.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. We really do.
Thank
We
you.
really appreciate you taking the time. Next week, we're going to be in New York City.
I'm there.
With Baylor in New York City.
I'm going to holler at you.
We'll be down there for that. Follow us. We'll do pregame and postgame.
Yep.
Each game, as long as Creighton's there, we'll be there. We want to thank Hurrdat, of course.
Always.
Pat Safford is all producing it. You know what he does for us all the time.
Phil, bro, I got you.
Phil McLean, booking the guests. We love that as well. Omaha Steaks, our sponsor. Never a bad time to give Omaha Steaks as a gift. Yep. Don't forget that. You need to think about buying some from me. Omaha Steaks would be good. Reminder again, March 9th, New York City. Special guest. I know we're going to talk to Creighton AD, Marcus Blossom, and players and coaches as well. As always, Josh, take us away.
Hey, Baylor, we appreciate you. On behalf of my man, Michael Severe, my name is Josh Jones. You know how we do it. It's the Let It Fly Show.